Coming to the stage now, a very, very funny comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Chirillo.
Thank you, James. He helped me up on the stage. I broke my back a couple of years ago, and I still haven't recovered. And everybody asked me, Lee, that's insane. How does somebody break their back? Well, I fell off a mechanical bull. I didn't actually fall off. He tossed me aside for a younger broad. Sure, go ahead and laugh at my pain, but it was really quite serious. I ended up in the trauma center, which turns out is where they give you the bill. And my insurance is the worst. Instead of being sent to the Martin Luther King Hospital, I had to go to the Don King Hospital. Yeah, the doctors were taking bets on my surgery. They had a sports book in the lobby. I'll tell you though, I think it's the old folks, the old bags, senior citizens, that are ruining our healthcare system. My 93-year-old stepmother was in the doctor 4 times a week. And the doctor's just as bad. He orders her to have a mammogram. A mammogram? She's 93. What are they going to do? Point the camera at her knees? I never liked this woman, though. We called her Prune Face. She was mean, ugly, and cheap. And those were her good qualities. She finally died at 99. I think she was the original realtor to the Ming Dynasty. And you know what? I never understood what my father saw in this woman, except he was cheap too. So cheap, he had a coupon for his own cremation. And that was the Sonny's barbecue. After breaking my back, aside from having the posture of a cocktail shrimp, I gained a lot of weight. And, I didn't know what to do, so I joined Weight Watchers. It's good enough for Oprah. Boy, oh boy, she's racking in the dough. I'm so sick of her, though. I eat bread. No shit, you've been eating bread for a long time, Oprah. But I'll tell you, Weight Watchers is really good if you're overweight. Has anybody here tried it? Yeah, it's good, isn't it? You don't even have to show up now. You can just phone it in, which was perfect for me. And it goes like this. I'd call up and it said, if you think you're 20 pounds overweight, press 1. If you think you're morbidly obese, press 2. And if you haven't gotten laid in the past 3 years, press the pound sign. So I pressed the pound sign, and it said, you're fat. What do you expect? Oh, sure, I used to be hot for about 2 weeks in the 70s. Now Rosie O'Donnell won't even give me a looky-loo. I even had to buy the bull a couple of drinks. I just don't have luck with guys. I never did. Leave it to me. I picked the only Jew in Miami with no money. His name was Ira. Only a Jew could name their kid after a tax shelter. And he was lazy. I think because he smoked so much pot. He smoked so much pot he could bring back Bob Marley from the dead. And he took so much LSD in the 60s he would have flashbacks of his bris. And it turns out Ira he was abusive. I asked him to get me a boob job. He got me the lunch shift at Hooters. But the piece de resistance was he suffered from small-timer's disease. Yeah. And they say it's not the size of the ship, it's the motion of the ocean. Penetration would have been nice. Viagra, Cialis, These are big drugs today. I always see the ads for them. The largest selling drugs in the history of pharmaceuticals. And I didn't realize that many men couldn't get it up. I thought it was just me. Yeah, they have Viagra for women today. Viagra for women. I'm thinking, if you gotta take Viagra, you're shagging the wrong guy. I welcome a little sexual harassment. Yeah, it's been a long time. Even date rape. At least the guy's considerate enough to make a date. Cosby put the kibosh on that, though. Hey, let me ask you something. Is anybody here from a dysfunctional family? Yeah, like no shit. Who the hell isn't? People kill me though today. They're bipolar. Everybody hides behind, they're bipolar. I'm bipolar. I'm bipolar light. In my day, we used to call it manic depressive. And I say, you got mental baggage, fly United. They'll be sure to lose it. My mother liked to drink. Boy, was she a boozer. She liked to drink vodka. Vodka, cream, and Metamucil. A white roughage. We tried to get her help. We said, Mom, why don't you go and, go to Alcoholics Anonymous? She says, Alcoholics Anonymous? What's Anonymous? I know everybody. I said, I don't care. Find a support group, anything. So she found one for fat women who feel compelled to wear spandex. She was such in denial, though, the doctors found cork in her urine. And my sister's gay, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but she wants to have a baby by artificial insemination, which I think is kind of weird. So I said, Jane, why don't you just pick up a guy and do it? Who's going to know the difference? She says, oh, no. We want to make sure the father has good genes. Would you tell me what kind of good genes a guy has that jerks off in a jar for money? And what are you going to tell the kid? Oh, your father was born in a Petri dish. It's a screwed up world, isn't it? I'm not that very religious, but I do like Pope Francis, the new Pope. And now he's trying to anoint Mother Teresa to sainthood. And they always say, Mother Teresa always had a good gig. She got to travel around the world. She met interesting people. She was in the news media all day, or all week, or all year. So she had a shitty wardrobe and no sex life. Either do I. Christians are weird. They always see religious figures in inanimate objects. Right? So it's one moron. He saw Mother Teresa in a pizza. You don't hear the Jews seeing Moses in a matzo ball. Or the gays seeing Liza Minnelli in a quiche. Yeah. I haven't been in Los Angeles that long. I live near Fairfax Avenue, where Little Ethiopia is. Is anybody familiar with this area? Yeah, I'm thinking Ethiopia, and there's old restaurants and cafes. Thinking, what the hell would these people know about food? Aren't they starving to death? But I'm adventurous. I went to the restaurant, right? Do you know I talked to the maitre d' for 10 minutes before I realized he was a coat rack? I ordered rice. He said, would that be 2 grains, 1 grain, or 2? Ethiopian. It was raining out, and I got stopped by a cop. Cops today, they really have a sense of entitlement. But meanwhile, lucky me, I got stopped by a lady cop. It said police dog on the side of the car. It was her. Putting lipstick on this broad would be like putting rouge on a horse. And she was nasty. really nasty. She says, get out of your car. I want to search it for drugs. I'm like, me? I'm an old lady, drugs. So I looked at her, I said, well, go ahead. I already did. You know, everybody says I've got a nasty, caustic attitude. I should be more benevolent and more caring. Why don't I help the homeless? Lee, they can't work. They have a drug and alcohol problem. Am I missing something? I have to go to work to support my drug and alcohol problem. I didn't even know I had an alcohol problem until I did my taxes. I had to list Jim Beam, Jose Cuervo, and Johnny Walker as dependents. And you know what kills me? That little pathetic sign they have, will work for food. What the hell do you think I do? You know, something that always encouraged me, you know, when you invite people, invite industry people. I'm thinking, oh, for Christ's sake, everybody in this town is either a writer, a producer, an actor, but they don't have 2 nickels to rub together. So I finally said to one guy, you know, hey, why don't you get a job? And he got really indignant. He says, a job? I'm an actor. All I know how to do is act. I said, oh, well, why don't you act like a waiter and get me a vodka and tonic? Thank you guys very much.